Berserk, Bastard, Parasite, and Neon Genesis Evangelion have one thing in common. They would not exist without the help of a certain manga, and its name is Devilman.
In the dark, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? There he is, the devil! Devilman!
What started as a superhero manga fighting demons of the weak quickly became the most controversial shonen of its generation. Originally published in 1972 as part of the weekly shonen magazine, Devilman has been regarded as Go Nagai's best horror manga, serving as a cautionary tale of anti-war. Within interviews, Devilman's creator, Go Nagai, doesn't believe in the justification of any war. So, the manga serves as a representation on the dark times of human history, specifically the Massachusetts Salem witch trials and the conscriptions or drafts relating to the Vietnam War. The depressing content presented in this manga would later gain recognition by other authors and directors, often showing their work filled with the influence of Devilman. But what makes Devilman so important? What did those people find appealing about this old manga from the 70s? The answer can be found with its latest 10-episode anime, Devilman Crybaby. Similar to the descriptions on the back of Berserk volumes, Devilman Crybaby is not for the squeamish or the easily offended. This particular anime adaptation relishes in sexual intercourse, making it akin to the fetish-powered characters of Speed Grapher. While Devilman isn't as nasty when compared to Reen, Daughters of Nemosine, or Legend of the Overfiend, Crybaby will certainly have memorable imagery. If you've seen or read Berserk, then you can handle this anime. I understand if people are discouraged to watch a 10-episode series filled with lewd, ultra-violent material, but there's a reason why Devilman was considered taboo during the 1970s, and that reason is the dark conclusion that was never done before, predating every possible What TF anime ending into a true vision of hell. But the series isn't violent for the sake of being juvenile with a rated mature rating. It has a purpose. The Devilman manga was meant to disturb its readers with its tragic superhero, the lust for violence, and the fears of war. There's even a double-page spread where Akira talks directly at the reader, warning them of the inevitable misfortune. These authors and directors understood the meaning behind Devilman, and Devilman Crybaby is here to deliver that same message. Are you ready? Watch at your own risk.
Superhero, hero for justice, Devilman!
What's Devilman about? If you've seen Parasite, then this will be easier to comprehend. The story is centralized on the friendship of two characters, Akira Fudo and Ryo Asuka. One day, Ryo approaches Akira, telling him the existence of demons. The demons in this story can merge with other organisms to enhance their powers, and can disguise themselves as humans. The demons have been covertly eating humankind to satisfy their needs. Ryo and Akira intended to record evidence of their existence, but during a Sabbath, demons possessed the people, but Akira managed to stay in control of his body, transforming him into Devilman. With Akira's new powers, Ryo proposes a change in plan. Now they'll use their resources to hunt the demons and kill them. The plan doesn't move smoothly as Akira's been slowly changing, craving sex and violence, clear proof that he's suffering from withdrawal symptoms and losing control of his body. Meanwhile, Ryo has been doing some shady business in his pursuit of killing demons. Half of the anime is spent on introducing the characters, showing their weakened states as they try to hide their sadness through masturbation, drugs, sports, and other activities. The remainder of the anime is where the conflict reaches Armageddon. This section is what many Devilman fans have waited years to see. Many people are becoming aware of the existence of demons, which causes mass hysteria. The series stops being about the demon of the week and now focuses on humanity's war with demons. Devilman changes once more, who questions the morality of the situation, leading him to numerous scenes that'll turn you into a crybaby. A misconception of this anime is the label Netflix Original. Netflix solely offers streaming services on a worldwide scale. and help produce content via money and other finances, but they don't participate in the actual creation of shows under their brand. Anime examples such as The Seven Deadly Sins, Little Witch Academia, or The New Grappler Baki have the Netflix original logo, but any anime fan will know that their real creators can be credited to their original authors, or the heads of an animation studio, and Devilman falls under the same category. I assume people are worried of the term simply because of shows like Neo Yokio. Devilman Crybaby is somewhat based on the 1972 Devilman manga by Go Nagai, but shares plenty of new content such as different story events, character redesigns, a psychedelic arts direction, and most importantly, finally animating the original ending. Speaking of animation, the series is directed by Yuasa Masaki, and his animation studio, Science Saru, animated this anime. To those unfamiliar with his work, it may take a few moments to get adjusted to the experimental visuals, as many will confuse it for bad animation. There's plenty of videos discussing the differences between inconsistent errors and intentional stylist choices, so I'll just link those videos in the description and leave a list of stuff with similar artsy visuals. Yuasa's style does work for Go Nagai, as his 70s artwork was always very expressive, whether it was being comedic or serious. But there's one thing I don't like about Crybaby's visual flair. It doesn't use the signature white silhouettes from the manga, which is one of many differences. A big change from the source material is the time period, as the original took place in the 1970s, while Crybaby occurs in current times. Meaning, there's internet connection, and Ryo even has a Twitter account. With this new technology, now I'll be more popular than Griffith. People will be saying Ryo Asuka did nothing wrong. That'll encourage those normies to read old manga. Haha, Griffith can suck my genitals. One of the problems I have with the usage of modern tech and horror stories is they weren't designed to include them, as it'll jeopardize the danger. For example, there was no need to modernize Parasite in the tablet era, for it just creates the unlikely cliche or inconvenience of, oh no, I don't have service! Devilman Crybaby instead uses social media and smartphones to its advantage. There's a lot of scenes that I can't spoil, but it basically helps Ryo's agenda and makes one of the biggest tearjerker scenes in the anime, a powerful heroic event that wasn't in the manga. The internet really brings out a new side to the character's privacy, such as the innocent Akira secretly watching porn, Taro secretly looking at Akira's search results, aka the porn, and Devilman? What? Devilman manga, Devilman merchandise, Devilman anime! Why does Toei Devilman exist in this world? Are we going on Devilman lady logic? My brain is confused! Devilman Crybaby also includes the modern acceptance of homosexuality. There's a few gay characters that weren't from the manga, but they help portray human insecurities, leading to a small foreshadowing of someone else's feelings at the end of the series. What I do find odd is Crybaby unintentionally can be considered a sports track anime. Episodes 1 through 6 would occasionally demonstrate, or should I say demonstrate, the characters performing the sport. There was a use for it as it easily shows multiple persons' transformation, but it's also introduced a new style of running, the Chad Devil Dash! Other changes include character interpretation for the main cast and their parents. Akira Fudo was originally a cowardly person who wanted to do good, but couldn't even muster a shred of bravery to act any unselfish deed. In Crybaby, Akira is portrayed more innocently, but a boy with a big heart. This Akira is at least brave enough to help others, but often gets made fun of for being a crybaby. Like the title! Ryo Asuka is introduced as a mysterious yet deranged man. In just about every appearance he's made, Ryo makes a first impression that's obviously telling you, I am insane. It still happens to this day. In the Cyborg 009 crossover, Ryo just sees Joe and assumes, he must be a demon! And he just shoots the guy. What is wrong with you?
I don't give a shit.
And in the 2014 Devilman Saga, Ryo shows up and I'm thinking...
White thrusters. Oh, you're no fuck.
I hope you say it was beautiful.
Oh no, my brain is confused.
And I like how he was like, just pause. Like, I'm surprised about everything. Just pause. I'm so surprised. My brain is confused.
Akira's parents have a bigger role in the story as the original manga. They were dead from the start. It's nice to see them being fondly remembered by Akira, as in the manga, he never brings them up. Crybaby actually makes their appearances a big dramatic deal, borrowing elements from the 1990 OVA, The Demon Bird. I'm happy they did that. I'll bring this up a little later, but there's some things that Devilman fans are a little tired of seeing, so having a new spin is very much appreciated. Miki and the entire Makimura family have been drastically altered in both character and story usage. Miki is Akira's girlfriend, who in the manga was a very cute spirited tomboy, but once Akira becomes devil manly, Miki just turns into a love-crazed cheerleader, aka Akira's bitch. But in Crybaby, she behaves consistently the same all the way through. Actually, this version's affectionate feelings are more believable than any incarnation, and it's helped via the internet. Now, this is how you modernize an anime. The rest of her family have redesigns but also appear to be very religious and devoted followers of God. Their religion is never specified, but it just adds more to the tragedy later on. In the 1972 manga, their purpose was to enforce Akira's role as a hero who would think about his actions. This led Akira to one of the most iconic panels and quotes of the manga. In Crybaby, the pivotal scene is pretty much rewritten to happen at a different time, being Devilman's greatest tragedy, which makes sense. Both versions still contain the same feelings even with different events. I honestly believe the Crybaby anime is actually darker than the manga. The stuff that happens to this family is just... ugh. As someone who read the manga in 2013 and knew what was going to happen, that still wasn't enough time to prepare me for these events. Even as I rewatch these images as I edit them for this video, it still brings tears to my eyes. The eclipse from Berserk is directly lifted from Devilman, and the same can be said for a lot of scenes in Evangelion, but this old manga takes it to the extreme, completely shattering all hope. Devilman's words weigh heavier when he meets the person responsible and says,
"You guys are the ones who are demons! You robbed me of the most precious thing I possessed! I would honestly like to cry for you, but all of my tears have dried up."
That dialogue ties everything together, especially with the title and this newly added feature of being a crybaby. It represents what was left of his humanity. With the interaction of the new Makimura family, I saw a heroic side of Devilman that I never felt before. Of all the characters in Devilman Crybaby, Akira Fudo is the one who benefited the most from this adaptation. They made him appear as a very nice boy who really wants his family to be together, and when he transforms into Devilman, Yuasa and the animators of Saiyan Saru really went all out to show us his gritty savagery. But when he's in control, we see a dark superhero willing to save lives and genuinely cares for people. There are scenes in the manga where he shows these feelings, but I felt the anime did a better job in expressing it.
Rio, I saw a human get killed.
Is that so?
Rio, how can you be so calm about all this? A lot of people who aren't demons are dying as we speak.
Akira, this is a war between demons and humans. People will die.
But you don't tell me you knew this.
This level of sacrifice can't be helped. It takes time and effort to prove that someone isn't a demon. What's going to change by you going around the whole day and saving one or two people? The big picture will stay the same.
So I just stand by and do nothing?
It's the weapons that are supposed to protect humans are in reality helping to destroy them. Humans that are caught up in a cloud of suspicion will start doing terrible things. There's nothing you can do with just your own power. It'd be one thing if demons were Devilman's only enemies. But humans also want to destroy him because they see Devilman as a demon. It's the biggest show in history! The war is starting. It's a war raged against a different being that humanity has never seen. What can you do by fighting on your own?
Having this anime exist was a long struggle, and to explain that endeavor, I gotta time travel back in time. To those familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure are aware that the manga originally began in 1987, but it wasn't until 2012 that it received an accurate anime series. JoJo took a span of 25 years, but Devilman had to wait 46 years for a complete anime adaptation. Throughout the decades, Devilman had attempted to create an anime version, the most notable being the Devilman OVAs, The Birth and the Demon Bird. This is possibly the most popular version of the Devilman anime, as it was originally released by Manga Entertainment with an infamous English dub.
I'm Devilman! You better fucking believe it!
But thanks to this exposure, Devilman will be featured in White Zombie's song Supercharger Heaven. These two episodes would bear resemblance to Go Nagai's 70s art style and made improvements from the source material, but for unknown reasons, production of the OVA series stopped, and instead we got a chibi crossover with Mazinger Z and Violence Jack, because that's totally what fans wanted, right? Right? No. But let me tell you what really annoyed me. Back in 2015, there was word of a new Devilman anime and it got everyone excited, but then we found out it was a lie! Instead, we got another crossover with Cyborg 009, because that's totally what fans wanted, right? Right! No. But I still love watching it. Devilman had a badass redesign unlike anything we've seen before. The same can be said for the 00 Cyborgs, as this was the most violent and coolest portrayal of the characters, and currently was their last 2D appearance before it went to CGI with Call of Justice, and it helped me get interested in rewatching the 2001 anime and read the Conclusion Gods War manga, but enough praise for the Cyborgs. Devilman Crybaby was the anime many fans were waiting for, but these aren't the only Devilman anime. Back in 1972, there was a Devilman anime, but it didn't follow the manga. In fact, it had a different main character. Originally, Go Nagai had a manga known as Demon Lord Dante, which got cancelled because the publisher went out of business. Soon after, an employee from Toei Animation approached Go Nagai to create an anime based on his ideas. Go Nagai and the staff at Toei collaborated on the creation of Devilman, which resulted in two versions. They're both superhero stuff, but Toei's incarnation will lead towards tokusatsu and kaiju, as Devilman can transform into a giant and fight giant demons in episodic format. The show is extremely violent, very campy, but I love this secondary character, which would eventually inspire a successor. I already reviewed this anime series, so there's no need for me to elaborate any further. At the time, Go Nagai would have no idea that these two series wouldn't be the only versions of Devilman, because the manga and anime were so successful that it just led to more interpretations. Currently, there are 16 Devilman manga. There's Devilman 1972, Violence Jack, Shin Devilman, Neo Devilman, Devilman Lady, Amon the Dark Side of Devilman, Devilman Strange Days, Shin Violence Jack, Demon Knight, Devilman Grimoire, Devilman vs Ghetto Robo, Devilman vs Hades, Cutie Honey vs Devilman Lady, Cyborg 009 vs Devilman, The Breakdown, the autobiography Gekiman, and the current Devilman saga. I also found this obscure Devilman manga that's colored and also includes the same ending as Go Nagai's manga. Not sure what the source of this is supposed to be, but it does exist. And Mazinger Z vs Devilman anime movie, the Devil Lady anime, Amon Apocalypse of Devilman, and that's all I remember if I'm not including the cameos and other Go Nagai material like episode 7 of Shin Cutie Honey or the Black Emperor villain from the second Kiniko Man movie. The point is, Devilman has a lot to explore, and it wasn't until 2017 that some of these manga are becoming available for purchase, being the Toei successor Devilman Grimoire, Devilman vs Hades, and the original 5-volume series being repackaged in a 2-volume hardbook edition. 2018 is a good year for Devilman and for the anime/manga industry, as many older series will make returns in either licensed manga or new anime. While the Devilman franchise or dynamic planning as a whole is popular in Italy, 2018 is the biggest opportunity for North Americans to become aware and interested in Devilman. I highly recommend this anime, which is why I spoke in absolute detail about everything, for I want Crybaby to succeed. It has an ongoing legacy as Go Nagai's Big 3, Devilman, Mazinger Z, and Cutie Honey, which all three are celebrating the author's 50th anniversary with 3 new anime, and this old man of 72 years old is still working on manga to this very day. He's been in the manga business when Osamu Tezuka was still alive. That was a long time ago. Go Nagai is a mangaka with 50 years of experience. I know people love Oda, Kentaro, Araki, Togashi, and several others, but come on guys, 50 years! Not everything he made was good, but he deserves some love. You can show that support by watching the Crybaby anime on Netflix or buying the manga when it's available. There isn't much else for me to say about this anime without spoiling some things. I'd rather speak of spoiler-heavy material in a separate project where I'll cover every episode and compare to the manga and other related stuff like the OVA. For a long time, Devilman has been a niche, obscure horror story that some people knew about, which led to a lot of surprising references or characters being modeled on his design. From Sonic the Hedgehog to DC Comics to Darkstalkers, it goes on. Manga and anime like Berserk and Evangelion and the later parts of Bastard clearly got some ideas from the dark conclusion of Devilman. Meanwhile, Parasite, Hell Teacher Nube, and to some extent Kashan 1973 can be considered the happy ending of Devilman. I just hope this anime encourages people to look at other series from the 1970s or older. Devilman, along with Gatchaman, Ashita no Joe, and Tiger Mask, held a lot of popularity for their time, and these 4 series have something in common. They would later become famous names excelling in their respective fields of sports and superheroes, and their legacy came to fruition not just because of their lead characters, but for their devastatingly sad storylines, causing some of the most famous deaths of the anime and manga industry. Ashita no Joe even created a real-life funeral, but the only one that created the most controversy was Devilman. There's a Berserk interview stating that its content wasn't normal for its time and should not been approved by the manga editors. For better or worse, Devilman became Go Nagai's best work, and he changed the manga business for inspiring many more gruesome, depressing anime and manga to exist in today's generation of fandom. While I'm currently done talking about Crybaby, I'm not finished talking about Devilman. In the future, I need to update my Devilman anthology video and make subsequent reviews on each Devilman series and adaptations like the 009 crossover or Devilman Lady, and obviously the current Devilman Grimoire. Crybaby wasn't an exact adaptation of the manga, and there's certainly some missing content, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I never want an anime that's 100% like the manga. Sometimes I want to be surprised. With long-running series like Lupin III, Batman, Sonic the Hedgehog, He-Man, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there's numerous interpretations and versions of those characters. And in the case of Devilman, you want to experience something you haven't seen before. We've seen plenty of Siren and Jinmin, and there isn't much we can do with them when compared to their numerous other appearances in Devilman material. To some fans, this Crybaby wasn't the adaptation they wanted, but I view this anime as an extension to the 46 years of Devilman history. JoJo had a new spark of life in 2012, Lupin got dark again in 2012, Batman returned to its campy roots with LEGO Batman and Return of the Caped Crusaders, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is coming back. So maybe 2018 is the year for Go Nagai to be acknowledged, and who knows, perhaps we'll get other Devilman anime in the future. At the very least, the original manga is coming, and like I said many years ago, I recommend you read it. As a Devilman fan, I enjoyed Crybaby, and I like the manga, and I'll welcome anything else that has the name Devilman, for he's a superhero with the body of the devil, but with the heart of a human. Devilman, it's Devil Manly! I'm the anime hero or the manly anime hero, but I always review anime so you can enjoy it.